Hey everyone, I am here making a video that I truly did not think I would be making, all because of some simple little mishap on the Appalachian Trail. I recorded my announcement video about a month and a half now and was overwhelmed with so many viewers and people subscribing to a complete stranger who had announced their through hike of the Appalachian Trail. And I was so encouraged and I don't know the words to say, but it just warmed my heart to see that there were so many loving and supporting people who wanted me to succeed as much as I did and who were praying for me. There's a women's group that wrote a prayer and would keep me in their prayers daily, and Facebook groups with such amazing support. Not the class of groups, they get kind of crazy, but some of the little offsprings that have come from that have been really amazing. And I got to meet a lot of great people. And I got to the trail on the 21st, Amicalola Falls, I should say, with the intention of through hiking in the morning on the 22nd. So I ran down to, my room is not ready. So I ran down, I got to check in at 4:17. The rooms are supposed to be guaranteed by 4 o'clock. That means nothing to them. That just means if your room is not ready, they'll find an available room for you. Anyway, I don't want this to turn into another bitchy video. I've recorded 2 videos about my gear, about all the crap really that happened getting to the Appalachian Trail and my gear breaking and having to be replaced. Maybe I'll put those out, I don't know. But I'm checked in. I knew I can go about a mile in about 20 minutes going downhill, so I hightailed it down the East Ridge Trail to get to the visitor center to see if I could check in before 5 o'clock. They don't tell you that there's about a quarter of a mile of that downhill that's kind of like a mini Rocksylvania, so you can't really get up speed. So I got through there as fast as I could, past this lovely couple on the way up who were struggling. It was a steep incline. I got down to the visitor center at 5:02 and found out that is not where they do the check-ins as I had thought, and that it is in a shack on the other side of the playground, and that they're closed and they're not going to be taking any other registrations for the day. So I slack packed down there with just my rain jacket on and my hiking clothes that I drove in 2 days in. And now I had the opportunity to walk up 604 stairs back up to the lodge that I had not anticipated. So I tried to make the best of it. And I did. I got some beautiful video and photos of the falls on the way up. But it is not for the faint of heart, I guess. I didn't notice the numbering of the platforms where you can rest and take a break, but I think I stopped realizing that they were there at about platform 13 because I could literally toward the end go platform to platform, take a break. My legs felt fine, but it's a cardiovascular workout. I shouldn't say my legs felt fine. They were exhausted by the time I got up to the top. But you're so happy to be up at the top, I think your mind just kind of puts that behind you. Sorry, that little clinking you hear is my cat's tail hitting the louvers. She's so happy I'm back. So anyway, I then went back to the hotel, kind of took a shower, settled in, had a nice dinner. Got to see a couple of people on Facebook I hadn't met. It's weird because you walk in and you're like, these are all so many familiar faces, but I don't know any of these people. I don't know their names. Like, I can't remember. It was about, I'd say there were a good 13 people in the lobby and at dinner that I saw that I knew, and I got to talk to a couple of them. That was really nice. I was afraid, because of the physical therapy that I've been doing, that the stairs were, one of the exercises I did replicated the stairs. And I was afraid the next day I was going to be in quite a bit of pain. Anyway, the next day came, the 22nd, the day to leave, and it was raining, it was freezing, it was windy, and you know in your mind that that's what the trail is going to be like. But I got cold feet. I got chickened out because just that day someone had quit the trail right there from the lodge. I checked in online on the Facebook groups, and 2 other people had gotten off trail that day. I went back, I should say, I went back down on the 22nd. I got a ride down. I hitched a ride down to the visitor center, went to take my time. I checked in. While we were checking in, someone quit the trail, and I got to see how the people there react, and it was quite professional and quite quick, because we were in the gift shop, and I believe it was a gentleman had gotten off trail and got a phone signal to contact the visitor center, and they went into action really quick because he had wandered off trail. They said wandered off trail. I don't know exactly what happened to him. A lot of us are surmising that he probably had to walk off the trail to use the bathroom and couldn't find his way back to the trail. And you kind of heard a portion of the conversation on our end. It was transferred to a supervisor in an office, and they were getting some information. Meanwhile, the person running the gift shop was walkie-talking, I think it was, over to some rangers who, I think they said they assembled 3 rangers who basically took off like a shot up the trail and trying to find them. So that was really, I can't imagine what that person was going through to be off trail and, hadn't even made it to the actual Appalachian Trail, just the approach. But it did my heart good to know that they all took it seriously. But I had paid for a ride to get down. This was not a reputable company. I won't say the name of. I was in the hotel. There's a company inside the hotel. I offered them $10 to take me down, wait, let me register, and then drive me back up. They helped me down there and then abandoned me. And so I had no way to get up. And I left after registering. I was hiker 414, hiker 414. And this couple passed me. And I said to myself, okay, if they go to the left, they're starting the trail because that's where the arch is. And if they go to the right, then they're going to a car. And sure enough, they went to a right. And I was like, excuse me, are you guys going up to the lodge? And they were very gracious and said no. And then the husband said, well, we could probably take you up there. It's not too far out of the way. And so we struck up a little agreement of kind of how that would work. I hung out with them. They took pictures at the arch. They're a great couple. I got my pictures at the arch because I didn't get them the day before. I walked down the hill and up the stairs. Sorry, now the heater's going. Anyway, I got cold feet and I said, I'm gonna go tomorrow. I gotta do this. I gotta work myself up again mentally to get this going. Because I know I planned since 2017 and really hardcore planned for the last 6 to 8 months, and the last 2 weeks were just they should make more videos about the 2 weeks before you leave for the trail, because there's a lot to do before you actually leave your house. Anyway, woke up the next day, had a great breakfast. It was overcast, misty drizzle in the air, but nothing too crazy. But all of us were like, so do we wear our base layers with another layer and then the rain layer? I mean, is it too hot? What do we wear? And then we saw some dude walk by with shorts and a t-shirt, nothing, no water protection. We're like, well, we'll just hike. crazy. So we all just kind of took off and went our own separate ways. They went up the hike-in trail. Rumor has it that the hike-in trail is something like a mile longer than the approach trail, but it has less up and downs. It's more of a level surface, and you get there, it's a mile longer, and you get there an hour and a half sooner. I wouldn't have believed that. I don't know if that's true, but after my experience, it probably was true, looking at the elevations more. Anyway, I was loving it. I saw the first water source, and I had left a note. Sorry about that. Slight interruption from Mr. Kitty Cat, who won't get off the table, but who's missed me for the past week, so he's kind of sticking by my side a lot. Anyway, I got down to the first water source, and I had left a note in Far Out, about would this be the first water that I would drink from a river on trail. And that was kind of special. No, I didn't. Kept walking, and I got to some of the campsites that I had seen pictures of on gut hooks, and it just kind of gives you this like weird feeling like this is it. I'm like really seeing this. This is just not a picture that I'm seeing. And so that was really cool and kind of bolstered me to get through that. But like I said, it was raining. There was some mud, there was a lot of mud, some slipping, sliding around, and you just kind of handle it and get through it. But there was one section going down a deep incline. My right foot went out from under me. My left foot slammed down to catch myself, but I had twisted and moved my pole back to kind of arrest my fall, and then had to take another step back before I fell. And I had wrenched my back. And I thought I'd get through it. And it hurt, and I thought I'd see how much I could walk this off, or how much damage I had done. I called my sister, who helped a lot, trying to walk that balance of keeping me on trail, but allowing me to make the decisions to do my own, to make the right decisions to do my own hike. So I pushed on, and then whatever I had hurt started to migrate, and it became a pain in between my shoulder blades and kind of up my neck. And that was kind of weird because I hadn't had anything like that before, but I'd never carried a 38-pound pack with food and water before for, I had, but not when I was injured. Anyway, I went another, I think, 0.6 miles, calling my sister off and on. And I got to a point where I couldn't walk for 25 feet, take a break, and feel better, or sit down. That was the big thing. I couldn't walk and get to a point where I could sit down and take off my pack, let the pain subside, and then put the pack back on and continue. And I realized I was, I think, 4.5, almost 5 miles from the next water source, and I think that leads me like another half mile to the next shelter. Or I could turn around and I would get back to Amicalola Falls Lodge sooner. It would be a shorter distance. It would mean having to go back over the 2 huge hills at the beginning, but I would have to do it. And I made the very hard decision that, despite the fact that this was not my day to walk the Appalachian Trail approach trail, I would need to reconsider how I was going to accomplish how to do this. So I hiked back to the lodge, made a reservation about 0.2 of a mile up on the trail to make sure I had a room. And after I think I was there another day No, I was there one more day, and I resigned myself to having to go back home to take care of this because it got to the point I couldn't take a deep breath without my back hurting. There was some sort of weird nerve thing happening in this area with my arm and just like shooting pain. I'd only had that once before, and that was on the left side. So I knew I just had to take it easy, and I needed to see my doctor and get through some physical therapy, and that's what happened. Today is the March 1st. I got done seeing my doctor this morning, and we're getting me into physical therapy, and it's going to be pretty intense. They're going to try and do what they can to get me back on trail. I will tell you I have not made any definite plans, but the trail is not over. It has been sidelined because it is so hard to go through Instagram and Facebook and my emails from all the places I've registered, and every day I'm reminded about my dream of the Appalachian Trail, and it's really hard. I'm so proud of the people who are continuing. I met some amazing people. I mean, people, I'm telling you, like, they're amazing, absolute strangers in the forest walking the approach trail. I must have passed, I would say about 7 or 8 people passed me before I was injured because I was going slow. I was doing everything they said. And on the way back, I met a great guy who, let's just say he had a physical disability and he was doing it. And I don't want to call him out because I don't want to like say anything that would give him too much attention. But he was quite inspiring because I said, man, if you can do that, I got to get through this, and I can do this. Sorry. So I'm going to try for another date. I'm going to give myself about 30 days. That would mean I'd have to finish the trail in 5 months, and I don't think that's going to happen. But I've got some plans. I think if I can, I'm just going to make my through hike in 2 summers. I would really honestly love to start the trail again. I'm gonna overcome that approach trail. I'm not gonna let it get me. No, I will walk that without injury. And I will walk the Appalachian Trail. And I thought about doing a 4 to 5 month hike from Amicalola Falls to wherever I end up, hopefully Harper's Ferry. And then the next year start at Harper's Ferry and finish my trail at Katahdin. I don't think realistically I have it in me right now to be a thru hiker. I need to get in better shape and heal what's wrong. And I think I have a great physical therapy group of about 4 people who are pretty amazing, who will kick my butt to do that. Also, I've thought about this for days on end. Everyone has a thought about how to train for the Appalachian Trail. 2 things. Go find yourself the longest set of steps that you can find, and you walk up and down them till you walk up 601 times. And if you can do that without getting winded, you are ready for the Appalachian Trail. Or if you're kind of in a flat area of town, but you have a really steep hill that you can go up, walk up and down that hill for 7 hours. Because that's exactly what the approach trail seems like. You are just walking uphill and uphill. And it flattens out, for like 4 minutes. And then you're back to another 45 minutes of just trekking up a hill, trying to get up there. And there was only one guy, man, I don't know who he is, what his name is. He had his shit together. He was flying up the trail. I don't know what he eats for breakfast or what he trains with, but he was pretty freaking amazing. As far as I can tell, he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He's not part of the Facebook group, but he was definitely a thru hiker. I saw his pink tag. So if anyone knows who I'm talking about, I guess if I had to give him a trail name, he'd be a sharp-dressed hiker because he just had everything put together. Looked really, really fashion conscious, if that makes a sense. And just he was hauling with no trekking poles, not even, huffing and puffing. Anyway, I've got some ideas about what I want to do. I had wanted to start a podcast a while ago. And now I think I want to do that more than ever because it could be something I could do while I'm on the trail. And when I was in Amicalola in the lodge and at the visitor center and at the check-in on the trail, everybody has a story. Everyone. You people watching this have a story about the Appalachian Trail. And not everyone has a YouTube channel or a podcast or a social media presence to do that and tell that. And many of them don't. But there were some great conversations on that trail, and there were some great conversations in the lodge. And I think those need to be told. So who knows? Maybe a podcast is in my future. We'll see. But you haven't seen the last of me. You do you. You keep me subscribed if you feel like it. I'm pretty sure my adventure is going to go on. It's not goodbye. Goodbye is forever. So right now I'm just kind of saying see you to the trail until I figure out some stuff. Once again, thank you all. And I will see you out there sometime. Bye-bye.